Good morning, Britain. GCSE and A-level exams will return this summer with promises of a fairer system for students. Happy to say, and very...
Or socially?
Yes, I've met her at a work occasion. I've met her at...
The Chronicles of Riddick.
The media are so obsessed with looking at all of the things that you can't focus on one particular misdemeanour, and it all sort of gets diluted.
Yeah, but I think he's probably...
job. But this is Steve Barclay, who already has two big jobs. One, a coordinated campaign against Carrie Johnson, which is either true, Kevin, or is she involved in a business meeting, or is she taking a seat next to her husband in the back garden?
Just pop down.
That Boris never organises a party, but Carrie loves a party. It's Boris Johnson who wanted Lulu little wallpaper on the walls of Number 10. You know, that's clearly
He probably
not
hasn't even...
to say, well, that's not fair, because it sort of looks like they're going to get cheat sheets and be graded more generously. Actually, what people seem to be saying is, it's unfair that you're making exams go ahead, because there's been 2 years of disruptable time at school, not been able to go because of their own COVID infections or that in their family, or teachers haven't been around. And I would say that the handling of students' education during the lockdown and the whole pandemic has basically been a failure.
I think
by
they've
the
been...
government.
Well, good morning. It's just on 6 o'clock. Welcome to the programme. Or, I mean, I've been away for about 2 weeks. I should really be saying welcome to Groundhog Day. Because, plus ça change. I mean, nothing's changed. Were there any more parties to be talking about? Is it all Carrie's fault? I mean, this is where I left the room 2 weeks ago.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Can't you move the news agenda along?
On this morning. I just want to say absolutely huge congratulations to Boreham Wood. That was a phenomenal upset in the FA Cup. They now play Everton so far. It's absolutely fantastic.
I love these.
I'm going to speak to the manager and the captain in the next few minutes here on the programme.
I just love these fairy...
A sort of tale of two women this morning, isn't it? Of course.
Carrie and Camilla, the two series,
Carrie and Camilla, how popular they are, how much they're blamed for what's happened to their husbands.
Well, I watched the news channels yesterday, and fairly, you have to say that there's still a strong groundswell of anti-Camilla feeling. The Queen made this decision years ago.
Yes, I'm very, very lucky to have met Camilla, and she's lovely company.
I hear this.
She's so down to earth. She's a real person.
Did you meet her through...
That a little bit later on, and of course the role of the Prime Minister's wife as well. But our main news this morning, the government has revealed its plans to help GCSE and A-level students whose education has been disrupted by the COVID pandemic.
So exams are going to go ahead, but examiners will be a lot more generous with their marking, and in some subjects, pupils will be told which topics specifically they really should be revising. Nick Dix...
Let us know what you think this morning. That's our main news. We'll be discussing it in a moment with the Mail's Andrew Pearce and the Mirror's Kevin Maguire. First, here's Ranvir. Let's have a look at the weather. Here's Laura.
Getting a lot of reaction in to our opening report about exams going ahead.
Yes.
You don't like it. Sharon says, I've got a Year 11 daughter. It's disgusting exams are going ahead. The stress on the kids and teachers is unreal. They've not had a full year in school since Year 8. And Sharon says on Twitter, this is a disgrace, she says. My daughter's school didn't provide even one live lesson at the start of the pandemic. That went on for 5 months, and now they've got teachers and pupils off with COVID. They can't get supply teachers. They're not having proper lessons. It's a joke, and that's typical of the responsive end.
I'm hugely sympathetic,
because
I've got boys in the years which have been affected. And of course, you know, 2 years ago at the beginning of lockdown, the students were affected by the algorithm. Lots of students lost out then on whether they could go to the universities they wanted to, or to, you know, to further education at all. Last year we had the assessments. And there was a report yesterday in the Sunday Times that said that the private school system, in many cases, appeared to have gamed the system.
Yes,
and there was a huge number of a disproportionate number of A-star grades at A levels. That didn't happen in the state system.
Sector.
And then, you know, this year, as you say, students have missed out on so much education. They've missed school because of COVID. Teachers are missing school because of COVID. It
renders exams meaningless, I think, this year.
Except the algorithm didn't work and the assessments didn't work.
True enough.
So the Education Secretary has said it's the exam system that has to work. And by giving students the support this year, they're hoping to make it fairer.
If they're telling them which subjects specifically to revise and which ones to skip, I suppose that would help. But, you know, parents aren't happy at all.
And I can see why. Still to come on Good Morning Britain in there.
But first, we're going to get the news, the travel and the weather wherever you are.
See you in a moment.
Here at Tails.com, every dog gets their own unique